Okay, welcome everyone to the library session. I'm Brenda. So I was just checking to see if you had any questions about the library. This is a basic introduction to how the online library works. So this is the content of the library that you can access from home, so you do not have to come on campus, okay? I don't know if anyone's been on the library or to our new library, so we're sad to not right now. We miss it. But here we are. So I'm in my basement talking to you. All right. So we're at you should be seeing the library website, algonquincollege.com/library, which is easy to remember. So we're going to talk a lot about that big green box in the center of the page that says OneSearch. That is the main portal for accessing all the library's online resources. We're kind of lucky in that the library is 90% online and only 10% physical. So if I just talk about books alone, we have maybe 40,000 books between the Ottawa, Pembroke, and Perth campuses. Online, we have about 275,000 ebooks. So the online collection is very, very big. Okay, so we'll talk today about how to access it. So we're going to come back to the OneSearch. First, I'm going to show you a part of the page that will review what we're talking about today, in case I don't cover something in depth enough or you want to go back to review. So I'm just going to come down on the page a little bit to tools for online learning. So that'll give you a basic overview of what is available to you online from the library and what services we've switched from face-to-face to online. The first thing that's here is that we have started circulating or loaning again the physical collection. You need 3 things to be able to borrow physically from the library. Number 1, you have to be for the Ottawa Library, you have to be in Ottawa, okay? You can borrow from any of the 3 locations if you're an Algonquin student and have the items from each other library come to where you are. So if you're in Ottawa, you can ask for materials to be sent to Pembroke or Perth, okay? So that's very possible. We're doing this as contactless at the Ottawa campus. So you would need to have, to be able to go to an Algonquin library location, you would need a library account, which we're going to talk about today, because a library account is used to place hold on items in the OneSearch or in the catalog, so you can pick them up physically, or it's also what is used to access the online library. Okay, so you will need a library account. We'll talk about that. You will need to get to a library, and to pick up the items at Ottawa, you will need a library card. Okay, the library for physical pickup, the process would be, you would be in our catalog or in a OneSearch, see a book that you like, you would place a hold using your library account on that item, and I'll show you how to do this. That will send a note to our staff. Our staff will go on campus, go into the library collection, pick up the item you chose, and place it in what we call our book locker. Okay, our book locker is physically on campus at the 3rd floor in C building. Okay, and you will then get an email that tells you that you can pick up your book with, I think, 5 business days to come pick it up. Okay, so you would come on campus with the letter, because you need that, and your student card. You would go to the 3rd floor of C building to the library. The book locker is located by the library main desk, by the printers, and by the bathrooms. It's a big black locker. You would scan your card at the locker. The drawer will open with your item in it, and you will have it generally for 2 weeks. Okay, to return the item within the library desk, right there is a return slot. Okay, anyone have any questions about borrowing physical items from the libraries right now? Okay, good. So now we're getting on to talking about the entire online library. Okay, so we've switched some of our services to online. So if you can see at the bottom of your screen, we've got the library live chat button from 8 to 8, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 5 on Fridays. That's real people. So if you do have questions about your research or using the library, you can definitely chat with the library staff. If it's after hours, your chat request becomes an email, and the next person working will get that email. Okay, so if you send a chat late on Friday night, we'll get your email request on Monday morning and answer you. Okay, within our website, we do have an FAQ, frequently asked questions. So some of your answers might be there. You can book one-on-one Zoom appointments with the library staff if you wish to have a one-on-one session learning how to use a resource or do your research. We are offering workshops on many topics. So you may see the links to the workshops here, or you may see them in Brightspace as well. Part of the library is a student learning center. They offer online peer tutoring and coaching. Coaching is a free service, and I think you could request 2 hours of free coaching a week. And peer tutoring is not a free service, but is related to if you're struggling in a course you're taking, they will find someone that has taken the course before and done well and has done the tutor training that we matched with them. All right, so here's what we're going to cover today: preparing to learn online. We're going to talk about your library account. Your library account is usually used to manage your physical checkouts from the library. And it's also used to access any of the subscribed online resources that the library has, okay? All the material that we have online is subscribed. So we pay for it on behalf of you, all right? So we can't let the public have it because then it would be entirely too expensive. So your library account is like your pass behind the paywall at Algonquin. Anytime you click on something on our page that is a subscribed resource, it'll ask you to log in, okay? So your login is your student number, and the PIN is the last 4 numbers of your student number, all right? And we'll hopefully demonstrate this shortly. We're going to talk about what makes up the collection, which is all our individual digital resources. I think we have close to 130 different databases. Our databases are bundles of different materials, magazines, journals, and video. Okay, so all kinds of stuff, case law, that's what the different individual collections are. Okay, we're going to talk about OneSearch. OneSearch again takes up a lot of real estate on our main page. You can use the OneSearch to search all our resources almost at once. So the OneSearch is a little bit like the Google of the library, all right? And then if you're new to the library and you're looking at our page, you may wonder, what's for me in my program? So we have developed subject guides that present the library to you according to what we have for certain programs. We're going to start with that, okay? Any questions so far? You guys are still good? So we're going to talk about demonstrate your library account, look at the different digital resource collections, search through OneSearch, and take a quick look at subject guides. Everybody good? Okay. Anytime you have a question, please use the chat. All right, so I'm going back to the main library page. All right, so there's the OneSearch, digital resources, search publication catalog. We'll come back to that in a minute. I just want to show you the subject guides. Okay, so there's the box for the subject guides. I'm going to open it. So almost all libraries, especially academic libraries, use subject guides to introduce students to the specific resources a library has for their program, okay? We also use them to teach library things. So I don't know what programs you're in. Anybody want to tell me what program they're in? And I can see if we have a guide for you and we can use it as an example, or I'm just going to pick something randomly. Anyone want to share with me what program you're in? Okay, so you can see here I've got 20 different subject areas. Under each subject area is a different type of guide. Okay, you can also look at them. Ooh, someone's being brave, chatting with me. Health sciences is a great choice. Excellent. So we're going to look at health sciences guides, okay? So I can look by subject, and health sciences is down here. Oops, there we go, health and medicine. And we also have a list so you can look at all guides individually by alphabet. So we have 138 different guides. So let's explore more what we have in health and medicine. Okay. So these are the guides we have currently under health and medicine. So the idea is if a student never gets to come to a talk like this, or a librarian never visits their class, how do they find out about the specific resources for them? Okay, so most guides are pretty general. I'm going to go into the radiation technology guide. All right, just to show you what they look like. So in general, we have the same tabs in all of them, except in cases where your faculty are really involved with us developing the guides. So the nursing guide has many more links in it because your faculty are really involved, and we really love having them. So we're thinking like, what would a student come into the library to look for? Books and videos, articles, and web resources. So that's how we fixed up the guides, so they cover that. So right now, we're trying to promote the ebooks and the online videos rather than the physical books and the last few DVDs we have. So for example, I go into the ebook section. It'll give you an idea of what we have within the collection. And if you click on any of these, it will first ask you to log in, and then you'll be able to look at the ebook. These are just suggestions to give you an idea of the kind of stuff we have. Because this material is subscribed, we remind you how to log in off campus on every page where there is subscribed materials. And then there's a quickie search down here to search just for ebooks. Okay. The online videos, we've really improved the online video content. So we have special databases that just do the anatomy, for example. So we get to mention it here. And within the one search, you can search for all our guides or all our different videos, right? The article section will list all the individual e-resources, digital resources, databases, so many names for one thing that we have, okay? So the person that develops this guide likes to mention we have some special articles, featured journals, are journals and magazines and newspapers from the field that your faculty felt we should let you know that we have access to. Clicking any of them will ask you to log in and bring you to where they live within our databases. There we go, the key databases. So I have a list of several different bundles of resources, especially for this topic. The reason why you might want to see individual databases as opposed to using the one search, which we'll explore, which searches across all our databases, is sometimes the content in one search, the search isn't as good as using an individual database, especially when that database offers you a little extra. Okay, so for example, database for medical students in the many different areas would be the CINOplus database. CINOplus is searched in one search, but it does some extra special tips and tricks in it that one search cannot do, because one search has to please all the products that are in it. So there will be times when a teacher may say to you, maybe you should search this database by name, okay? The anatomy interactive database is completely video, so it's nice to access this individually, okay? So why would you want to access a database individually when we have the one search, okay? Your teachers recommended it, one. It does something extra that it can't do when it's in one search. The database itself is not able to work with one search at all. And let's see, you want to focus, okay? Say you want to search just the Ottawa Citizen newspaper, okay? If you search in one search, you're going to have a very Google-like search of many contents from many different things. If you go into our Canadian newspaper database, you can search the Ottawa Citizen and have less clutter. So it's easier to see what you're looking for. So in general, one search works really well for most students. But there comes a time when you might want to search an individual database. And this is how you find out which ones might be good for you. All right. We do include a tab on web resources in all our guides. We all are used to Google. We love Google, but sometimes we don't get in a search what we think we should be getting. So this is a way to recommend some websites to you that are reliable and well-maintained that might be useful to you. Okay. All our databases, subject guides include information on citing sources and avoiding plagiarism. This is something really important at the college. Okay. So we have a lovely, cute little video that explains plagiarism and how to avoid it on this page. And then one of the #1 ways to avoid plagiarism is to know how to properly cite when you're doing a paper, a project, or a presentation. So the Cite Sources button is actually linking to another full guide about citation formats. Okay. We're really APA citation heavy at the Woodruff campus, Ottawa campus. Perth and Pembroke campuses have declared that all students writing will use APA, American Psychological Format. At the Ottawa campus, we have such a variety of programs that they are using, the programs are using the citation format suggested by the discipline that they're studying in. So you may be using MLA format, IEEE format, or Turabian, okay? We just have a lot of resources here on APA because it is the most popular. Okay, so if you're struggling with APA or one of the citation formats, don't try to memorize your citation rules. Have a resource that you really trust, that you can feel confident going and checking the rules in. And the best resource is the one your teachers recommend. I would love it if it's one of the library resources, but it may not be, right? It may be a book, it may be another website, okay? So those are the best resources to go and check the rules when you're citing something. So on our page for citation, we have a module so you can self-learn or self-teach how to do APA. And then we have the Algonquin APA 7th edition style manual done by our faculty at the Pembroke campus. So this is written with Algonquin students in mind. There's a new section in it that completely covers citation of images in papers. That's done really well. Okay, if you're using other formats, we have a section for MLA and IEEE. IEEE is used a lot by computing, engineering, and electricians. All right, so that's in all our guides. So hopefully there is a guide for your program and you might be able to come back and explore more in depth, learn more about what the library has for you. Okay, any questions so far? We're getting ready to go into the databases. How are you doing? Any questions about the resources we may have, about your library account, about borrowing from the print collection? Ooh, I have a question. I have a brave person. Excellent. Thank you so much for your feedback. I'm sitting in my basement and I am alone. So it's lovely to hear from people. Okay, so now we're going to talk about searching online with the library. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to explain the function of the OneSearch versus all the little buttons under it. Okay, so the OneSearch is very Google-like. It is not pulling from the internet. It's pulling from content that would be in our library catalog and all our digital, or most of our digital resources. So digital resources are e-resources, databases, okay? So for most students, the OneSearch is all they ever use. They may never explore the buttons below, okay? Because this is searching across most of the resources we have. It also gives a student a chance to search with only one interface. So one way to search. If I use a whole bunch of different digital resources, different databases, they all come from different companies, and every company thinks they have the best page ever. So that each page will be different. So if you had to search to do a good search 5 different databases that the library had. You could actually be searching and having to learn 5 different interfaces. And that can be really off-putting. So when you're in the one search, you search one way. As a matter of fact, you may not even know you're searching 130 different databases at once because it's all being done for you. Okay, excellent. So I like the one search for that. If I'm starting research on a topic, quite often I'll do a quick search in one search to see what's out there and a quick search in Google. It just gives me a good idea of the words I might want to use and how much stuff is really out there. Okay. If you don't want to use the one search, you're really happy using the web, I do want to tell you how one search can save you money and time. Okay. One thing one search does really well is searching magazines, journals, newspapers, and scholarly journals. Okay, particularly. We have a lot of studies at the college that they're not allowed to use any other sources, just scholarly journals. Scholarly journals are written by professionals for professionals. Magazines are written for everybody. Okay, so there's a difference, all right? So if you do like to search online, maybe you like Google Scholar or another website, and you find an article, the problem with the web is that it's out to make money, and it's not making money for us, it's making money for the content owners. So you may find an article that is perfect for the paper you're writing, but the web may want to charge you for it. So what you can do is use this tool here, search publications. You would take the name of the journal or magazine that you're looking at, put it into this tool, and it will search all our databases and tell you if we have access to that particular journal for free. Okay, so that means you don't have to run around the city looking for content, and it's right there and it's electronic. All right. Okay, so for the students that might want to explore the digital resources and go beyond one search, I'm just going to show you how we lay them out. So you saw some of the individual databases recommended in the subject guides. Okay, so this is where you can find them again. If you remember a particular title. So if a teacher says, I want you to do an assignment and using just Academic Search Complete database. Okay, then we have an alphabetical list. So you can quickly go to A and you can find Academic Search Complete database. Okay, the nice thing about this one is that it is searchable in one search. But when I go into Academic Search Complete, it has a tool in it that lets me say, I want an article, but I want an article that's only 5 pages long, 10 pages long, 12 pages long. Okay, so this is an extra special thing. When a database has something extra special and it's in one search can only do what all the databases can do. So if a database has something extra, it can't do it. So sometimes you will have to use an individual database, and that may be why your teachers recommended it. Okay. So if they recommend one, you can easily find it. If you're one of my law people, all the law databases are too complicated for one search. So you need to know the names of your databases so you can find them electronically here or through your subject guide. Okay. You can also browse by subjects. So you can see what databases we have for different areas. Sorry, I'm going to turn off A so you can see we do have some. So for example, all right, if you work in community and social sciences, do good research, you'd have to search across 46 different databases from different companies with different looks and feel. You would not be happy. But if I told you that if you do the search in one search, you're pretty well searching all these at one time. Isn't that fantastic? Also, you get the benefit in one search of databases you maybe wouldn't have chosen that did have content in it that fit your search. Okay, all database types will tell you what type of content is in the database. So for example, say you're really interested in finding out what kind of video databases we have. I can look at all the online video databases and see which ones are included. And I really want to recommend Criterion On Demand. It's a new database we have, and it actually includes movies, which is very exciting. So if you have to read a book for class and there's a movie made from it, we probably have it in here. If you're going crazy at home, there's videos in here for you to watch. Normally, I would say we had instructional videos. So that's why I'm excited about having Criterion on demand, because it is videos that you can watch for enjoyment. And you can search just in this package to see what we have. Right. That is the individual different packages that you might want to come down here and explore. For the most part, though, they are being pulled up into the OneSearch. You also might want to go down to digital resources if you've attended another institution and you're wondering if we have the same products. All right. Any questions about the individual subscriptions? How about, we're going to do a OneSearch. Does anyone have a project they're doing and would like to suggest a topic for me to search? You've got a librarian here. I'm ready to search. If not, I have a topic, but just in case you want to suggest one. Ooh, I've got brave people today talking to me. The nervous system. Yes, good topic, because I wanted something big. Okay, so we'd have a Google-like experience. So what do we think is going to happen? Okay, I type in my search in the OneSearch and I click search. Okay. And this is the point that it should ask me to log in. Okay, if I clicked on an individual database, this is the screen you will see as well. We only pay for these databases for Algonquin students and users, so we can't let the public in. So this is where you prove you're from Algonquin. And it reminds you that your login is your student number, okay? And your PIN is the last 4 numbers of your student number. And I have a crazy different login, which is hard to remember. If you have trouble with your login, because as students, your account should be automatically set up. We torture the staff and faculty. They actually have to come talk to us or email us to get an account, but students are automatic. If you have a problem logging in, try it again. If you have a problem logging in again, clear your cookies, clear your screen, try again. If you have trouble again, try a different browser. Trouble again, please contact us. Okay, remember the chat function? Let us know. The reason why I'm asking you to try it again multiple times is mistyping is our #1 reason why people can't get in. And I do it a lot. All right, some of you may have seen this kind of database before. So I'm going to compare it a little bit to Google. And so what it does like Google and what it does different. Okay, so you can see how many results you have at the top of the screen, search results. Okay, so you have a scary number. It should have been a big number. This was the perfect topic for me to demonstrate. Okay, because you don't necessarily want to write a paper or do something on the nervous system. You could want a video on the nervous system, or you could want articles about something about the nervous system or a book about it. Okay, so the materials that are the results are in the middle. Okay, and like Google, we're getting a mix. So I'm seeing videos with different kinds of icons, lots of videos, encyclopedia listing, and scholarly journals. So you're going to get a mix, okay, just like with Google, okay? Your material is being shown by relevance. Google shows you by popularity. So the more people click on something, the more popular it is. It could be crappy, but if people are clicking on it, you're going to get it in your top 10, okay? You can also ask for the results to be shown by date if currency is very important to you, all right? Quite often, like Google, you will get an encyclopedia listing at the top of your search. All right, so we're going to talk about evaluating resources for a second. Encyclopedias are good for looking up quick facts or getting ideas and words and dates to make a search better. For college students, an encyclopedia is not an appropriate source to quote or to cite in a paper, okay? It's for the little ones, but definitely looking at them to get some better ideas about, like I said, bits of words to make your search work better, to learn a bit more about what you're looking for, that's fantastic. Actually, in Wikipedia, if you go to the actual sources, you can use those. All right, so let's start refining, because we do not want to look through 1,000, 200, and 3,500 zillion hits. Okay, so what Google doesn't have is the refine result tool on the side of your screen. And there's 3 boxes I usually recommend students look at. So the first box is the main limiters. So what we did was we introduced OneSearch and we watched students. And we watched what students were doing and what buttons they were clicking from the ones that were further down. So we moved these popular ones up to the top. So what we learned is students want full text. So that means if it's an electronic item, you do not want to see something that you cannot read right now. Okay, so that would eliminate anything that is indexed in the system that you could not read right now. Okay, because so many of our students are community and health and business and many other fields that are required to only use scholarly academic journals. There is a button here. If I click it, all those videos are gone, all those ebooks are gone, and now I just have a list of academic scholarly journals. Okay, so if you don't know what one is, or you're getting used to the idea of them, you're safe. You won't accidentally choose a magazine. Okay, so that's very popular. Then I'll turn it off. Okay, a lot of people don't use our old-fashioned catalog anymore. A lot of people use OneSearch as a catalog. So you can search print books or ebooks from in here. So I mentioned I was going to show you how to put a hold on a print book if you want to borrow it. So I'm going to limit my search to print books. Okay, so I have an item, it's at Woodruff campus. I'm going to click retrieve catalog item. Okay, this is our old-fashioned catalog. We're getting a new one. If the item says place hold, that's where you can click. You'd enter your student number and your PIN, and that would start the process for us going and retrieving the item, putting it in the book locker, so it will be available for you to pick up on campus with your student card, okay? If it doesn't have the place holds, there's probably a reason for it. Right? Ebooks, okay, so we have all these ebooks and we've been noticing students don't check them out. And I know why. Okay, so just take a quick look at ebooks. All right, so here's a record for an ebook, and you can see they have quite often have nice icons. Okay, what we're noticing is a lot of students like to read the ebooks online. So you just open it, you start browsing the table of contents, you go in, you find the parts you want. Okay, you also, for many of the ebooks, have the benefit of being able to download or check them out. This means you can use them on your computer or whatever when you're not on the internet. So if I click on this to download, just to show you, okay, this is where students stop, okay? For both our ebook systems, you need 3 things. 1 is your library account to get into it, to here, to this point. 2 is to have an account on the platform the ebook lives on, okay? And you can actually use your Google account for your platform account. So this is an account that is okay to set up. Don't be scared of it. And the 3rd thing you will need, it will prompt you, is for an ebook reader, usually a free Adobe ebook reader, okay? So if you want to download ebooks, go crazy. All right, and the last of the very important limits is date. So if you're worried about currency of items, you don't want something from 1880 66, you would like 2, 3, or 4 years old, you can move your bar up and it gets rid of all the old content. Okay, so I have 2 more boxes to show you and then we'll look at the record and then we'll be done, okay? The next box is what we just saw. So print books, ebooks, and scholarly journals are source types. This box is the full list of all the source types in this search. So it's like an index. So we can see that most of the content in this search were academic or scholarly journals, news, magazines, books, trade publications, ebooks, video. So if you were looking for video on the nervous system, you can go right again to all the videos. And we have a lot of really good online video content. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it to magazines for right now. So my search is a little smaller. The best way to make a search smaller is to add words to your search. And that's what you know from using Google. So if you're good at Google, you're going to be great at one search. So adding something to this to make it more specific would be great. So maybe my brain is stuck and I can't think of anything. Sometimes looking at the other content is helpful. Okay, or looking at the third box. The third box is the subject box, and I can open it. And what it is suggestions. Okay, so it's saying we noticed that other searches were done, nervous system and these words. Are any of these words helpful to you? Do you want to add them to your search? So you can add them by retyping them into your search, or you can click them and add them. So maybe I wanted nervous system diseases or physical fitness and nervous system. Okay, and you can add as many as you like. Maybe central nervous system. Ooh, central nervous system. So now my search is nervous system and central nervous system. Okay, just gives you ideas. The 2 quickest ways to make your search smaller: add something to the box and change the date. Make the date smaller. All right, so now we're going to look at the records. You can keep going. The idea is to get obviously enough items that you can actually review them. And to review them quickly, this little button here next to the title. You see that when I hover open it, another window opens. So it's a page with a magnifying glass. It's a quick look at the article. And you can see there's a little summary or abstract of the article. So you can decide if this sounds like what you're looking for. And if it does, you can go ahead and read the article. Or you can say, no, that's not at all what I want. Quite often they might tell you how long the article is. This one doesn't, but sometimes it can save you a lot of time. Okay, I'm going to warn you about this function. See the little box? And if I click it, I've got stuff up here in my folder. Okay, this is a really good feature if you're doing a lot of research over a period of time. The #1 reason students fall into accidental plagiarism is because while they're researching, they don't collect and keep all the resources. They might cut and paste from resources. So then when you're writing your paper, you can't remember where it came from and you don't cite it. Okay. So saving items that I might like in my folder is a great idea. However, when I close this window, everything in this folder is gone unless I sign in. Okay, so this is the same account I would use to use ebooks in this platform. So I can sign in, and when I sign in, I save everything. So I'm going to sign in with my Google account. So again, if you're going to do research over a long period of time, you have a lot of articles to look through. So I can save all the kinds of stuff in my folder I want. I can go back and look at my folder, see what I have in it. I can organize them different ways. I can repeat searches, and I can share the folders with different people if I'm doing group work. But it should say, not AC Library, hi Brenda, or something. That means I'm signed in. Okay, if you do not sign in, if it says sign out, If it says sign in, you're not signed in, you put stuff in your folder, you log out, you're gonna cry, okay? All right, so what else can we do? So this item has a button that says full text. That's what you wanna see, okay? So this is taking me out of the OneSearch to where the database of the item lives. So this may be the first time, This may be the first time that you're aware that you're using multiple databases. Okay, so you might also see buttons like this. Okay. So PDF is great because it's a scan of the actual article. So long article. Okay, so there's my print, email, save, and then I have these buttons down the side. And these are fabulous for student researchers. All the databases have these features, but I gotta say, this is crappy. This is very unhappy layout because unless you explore them, you don't even notice them because you're usually in a rush. So this one here is your Google Drive. So I can save this article right to my Google Drive. Okay, a print function, an email function. Now, many students do not use the email function. I want to show you something. Open the email. I can save it to myself, put something in this article, or the spam detector might eat it. If I come over here, something interesting happens. See? Citation format. Okay? If you're going to write papers, do projects, you're going to have to show your resources. Why not get your citation format now? So I'm going to click it, and I'm going to look for the citation format I'm using. I'm going to pick APA for now. Okay? So it's going to, darn it, it's going to email me the article and the reference, okay? If I forget that, but have kept or printed my article, I can look for it. And this button here says cite. See what I mean? The articles are, the buttons are really not visible. And there's the APA citation for this article. And it is not correct. All right, the rule with anything that generates a reference for you, it is your job to make sure it is correct. Some of our vendors are better than others. And when I look at that one, the title of the article is all capitalized. So you wouldn't be guilty of committing plagiarism, but you might lose marks on how you cite it. Okay, so this should not be all capitalized. Okay, and you have to double space it. Okay, so that gives you a little boost of stuff because you have this done and you have the article at the same time. So I like that. Okay, oopsie, kicked myself right out. Okay, I'm going to back. So if you do take a link that takes you out of the OneSearch, let's see if I can find one. Let's see, I'm getting mad at Gale right now. It's a great database. It's being a little funny today. I'm making threatening gestures at my computer. There we go. This is what's supposed to happen. All right, so there's my article. All right, you may have to click on the title to open it, but see how beautiful these tools are up here, right? They're very nice and clear. I wish the OneSearch would do that because it's much more clear. So the cite button's right there. I can pick, I get MLA, APA, or Chicago. So there's APA. And it did the title wrong as well. And there's the export tools, okay? So some of them are more visual than other. So what happens if you go and you find the full text in another database, but you cannot find the referencing tools, okay? OneSearch will always have the referencing tools. If you click on the title in OneSearch, you will always get the tools. There they are, and they're much clearer when you click the title. So there's my cite button. And there is my APA citation, which did the stupid things with the title again. Okay, so remember, you have to check the rules for citation, anything that gives you the reference, okay? So that is what I wanted to show you today. I wanted to make sure I covered how to use the OneSearch, what was in the OneSearch, a few tips about using it better, and a little bit about subject guides in the case that they might introduce the library to you a bit better. And definitely, I wanted to make sure you knew what your library account was. Okay, do we have any final questions? Hopefully you're going to go and try one or two of these things and see how it works for you. If you need help or have additional questions, don't forget you can talk to us through the live chat, or you can book an appointment with us. Okay, are you good? Thank you for being with me and having interest in our library. I really hope it'll help you with the research that you're doing in the future.